Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Tasha Kalimos. Happy joining you guys for another edition of NBA Player Prop Parlay right here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope your week is going well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA Player Prop Parlay to share with you guys. But we have a special edition of the video here today. If you watched last week's videos, you would know that today starts day one of our NBA Ladder Challenge. Now, technically, this was supposed to start yesterday. I had a little bit of a work emergency with the pizza shop, so unfortunately, I couldn't record yesterday. Apologies for that. We moved day one of the Ladder Challenge to today. So starting today, Tuesday, March 5th, is day one of our Guy Boston Sports NBA Player Prop Ladder Challenge for the month of March. If you guys watch my videos, you know I want to try and do a ladder challenge at least once a month, every month. So this is our ladder challenge for March. I'm really excited to share this with you guys. For those who maybe don't know what a ladder challenge is, which is perfectly okay, we have new sports bettors. We have to help those people who are just joining the community, who are new to the sports betting landscape, get acclimated to the culture and learn these things. A ladder challenge, the name kind of explains what it is. It is where we take a small initial investment and try to grow it to a certain number. For example, my ladder challenge I'm doing here on Guy Boston Sports is we're starting with a $10 investment, and the ultimate goal is to turn that $10 investment into $10,000. It's bold, I know, but we're going to go for it. Sportsbooks might hate us if we actually succeed, but we are going to give it our best shot here. So essentially what you do is you take that initial $10 investment, you put it on a parlay, like for example today's parlay, and if you win, which is obviously the goal, you then take all that money, your initial investment plus your winnings, and you bet it all on the next day's parlay. You're all in every single day with the goal that if you just keep going on a little winning streak there, you can turn that $10 investment into $10,000. It's a really fun way to get into sports betting because it doesn't take a lot of money. Again, only a $10 investment, and if we're successful, we could turn that into potentially a lot of money. Now, there's some variations. You could do it a way where, for example, I'm just going to give a little spoiler alert. The parlay for today is a 3-leg parlay plus 159 odds. So if we cash today on a $10 bet, you'll win just shy of $16 profit. Now, you could take the payout will be $26 roughly, right? You could take your $10 back and break even. That way, if the ladder challenge loses, at the end of the day, you didn't lose anything. You broke even, which is perfectly fine if you want to do that. I typically, when I do my ladder challenge, I just go all in with that initial $10 investment. So day two, if we win, you're either betting with that $16 or $26, depending on if you want to keep your initial investment back or you just want to keep throwing that initial $10 investment in the pot. And every day, you just keep betting what you made the last day. So you just keep doubling your money, doubling your money until eventually we get to $10,000. That is the goal anyways. Again, there's slight variations on how you can do this. I typically take my initial investment. I don't take it back. It's $10. I just keep throwing it in to the pot to make that unit higher. But that is, in essentially very simplistic terms, what a ladder challenge is. You can go and look on YouTube. There's a bunch of other more descriptive videos, but that's just a quick little understanding of, you're climbing the ladder. And then when you lose, obviously the ladder challenge ends. You fall off the ladder. That ends the challenge. You lose all your money. You bust out. Some people can opt to cash out early. Let's say you take that $10 investment, you turn it into $700. Maybe you don't want to continue anymore. You're happy with that massive profit increase. Perfectly fine. But obviously the goal is to just keep sticking in that ladder, keep climbing that ladder until we get to $10,000. One last caveat. I know this intro is going a little long before we get into the parlay, but real quick. If we lose today, this is day one. Now, hopefully we won't lose. We are on a little bit of a nice hot streak. We've cashed 2 of our last 3 parlays coming into today, including Saturday's parlay. The last video I did, we did cash that. We were profitable last week, which was really good. If we lose today, because it's the first day of the challenge, my promise to you guys is that we will do a second ladder challenge this month because I think it's kind of a cock tease to do a day one ladder challenge, lose day one, and then that's it. So in the event that today doesn't cash, which hopefully, fingers crossed we don't, we will do a second ladder challenge at some point later in the month. So without further ado, long intro, but again, I wanted to let you guys in on the situation. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below. Comment ladder down below if you are riding with our ladder challenge here for the month of March. Without further ado, guys, let's dive right into today's 3-leg parlay, day one of the ladder challenge. Let's go! All right, guys, first leg of our 3-leg parlay for today. We are targeting the Pelicans-Raptors game, which kicks off at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going with Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans over 24.5 points plus assists. Going to go ahead and kick this over to the Outlier screen, guys. If you don't know what Outliers are, the sponsor of every NBA Player Prop Parlay video here on the Guy Boston Sports YouTube channel. Link in the description below. You get a 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. One little other quick note on Outlier. I've seen in comments a couple of times people having some trouble with the props. I also want to mention that this ladder challenge is an exclusive to DraftKings. All the props are DraftKings exclusive. So if you're not on DraftKings, you may have a hard time following along. I'm sure you can try to find alternates and try to get yourself involved somehow, but I am picking alternate lines on DraftKings. I see some people who are on DraftKings who are having a hard time finding some of the alternate lines of the props. This is one of the advantages of having Outlier and being a subscriber to Outlier, is that you don't even have to worry about that. You just go in Outlier, you take your picks like I do, and then you just go ahead here. So, for example, I don't want to spoil it, but I'll spoil it against all three legs here. Try not to look. You click add to your bet slip there, and it shoots it right to your DraftKings Sportsbooks. All you got to do is just log in and then put whatever your wager is, which, of course, for our ladder challenge for day one is $10. And then it takes care of it for you. So if you're having a hard time, that is one of the cool advantages of Outlier. And again, there's a 7-day free trial when you use the link in the description below. You win one of these parlays, you basically, make your money for the month for your Outlier subscription when that trial ends. So just something to think about. One of the other cool features of Outlier for people who maybe are having a hard time finding some of these props, Outlier just takes care of it for you very easily. So again, link in the description below. 7-day free trial to try it out for yourself. Brandon Ingram, over 24.5 points plus assists. We got this line for minus 210 on DraftKings. It is an alternate line. The data is really strong on this one. Ingram has covered this line in 8 of his last 10 games, including each of his last 5 games. You stretch that data to his last 20, 14 of his last 20 games. It's a 70% hit rate. And you see here, even on the misses, he's pretty close. On the 2023 season as a whole, 69 nice percent hit rate for Brandon Ingram. 38 out of 55 games this year, he has cashed this over. And when you look at the head-to-head matchup, each of the last 2 times he's faced off with the Toronto Raptors, including the one time they played this year, last month on February 5th, actually exactly a month ago, he had 41 points and 9 assists. Absolutely demolished this line versus Toronto. And just to show you guys, he just finished shy of 30 minutes, so he doesn't even need to play a ton of minutes here to cash that line. That's just shy of 30 minutes. He had 41 points and 9 assists. You look at some of his last 10 games here, look at the minutes played, average of 33.9, but you see here, even like versus Indiana on February 28th, he only played 28.6 minutes, and he had 30 points and 4 assists. So he doesn't need to play a ton. I know blowouts, that's obviously a risk when it comes to our player props, but I'm not too concerned with that. Even when he plays under 30 minutes, he's still pretty due to cash this. Overall, you look at the right side of the screen here, Toronto, they are bottom 9 in the NBA in points allowed in total and bottom 6 in assists allowed in total to opposing teams. And we look at the injury tab over here, so far, no Scotty Barnes, no Bruce Bound, and no Jakob Poeltl for Toronto. Those are a lot of big injuries for them, which obviously bodes well. This could be a blowout, which is the one risk here, that this could be a blowout with all those pieces missing. But again, even in a blowout, you got to assume Ingram will play at least close to 30 minutes. He has not played since March 1st, so it's been about 4 days since he last played. He's rested. Brandon Ingram should be able to play close to 30 minutes, even if this game isn't particularly close. Another reason why I love this matchup, though, versus small forwards overall on the season, the Raptors, second worst defensive team in the NBA against the small forward position, giving up 24 points per game to opposing small forwards, and according to Fantasy Pros, in the last 15 games, so this is even with R.J. Barrett being added to the mix and everything, in the last 15 games, the Raptors are the worst defensive team in the NBA in terms of points allowed to the small forward position. So, really great defensive matchup. He already cashed this. He blew through this number the one time they played this season. 69 nice percent hit rate on the year. Really good spot for the first leg of our 3-leg parlay. All right, guys, second leg of our 3-leg parlay. We're targeting the Spurs-Rockets game, which kicks off at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going with Victor Wembanyama on the San Antonio Spurs over 29.5 points plus rebounds. The alien has officially arrived. Wemby has finally, after a kind of a slow start to his rookie year, which is kind of expected for a rookie transitioning to the United States, Wemby has finally arrived. And you look at here, 8 straight games he has cashed this over of 29.5 points plus assists. And on the 2023 season as a whole, 65% hit rate, 36 out of 55 games. You see here, a lot of that red was early in the year, but you see of late, he has been a covering machine. Look at his last 20 games, 85% hit rate, 17 of his last 20 games. He has cashed this over 29.5 points plus rebounds. He's been a covering machine. He is officially, I know it's early in his career, but he's already a superstar. And yes, I know it's a kind of a hot debate right now, but I don't care about how bad the Spurs are. Victor Wembanyama should be the defensive player of the year. He is unbelievable. But we're not talking about blocks and steals here. We're talking about points and rebounds. This is an alternate line, minus 295 on DraftKings, so it's a heavy alternate line, but for good reason. He's been covering this at a pretty high rate. And look at each of the last 2 times he's faced off with the Houston Rockets this year, back on October 27th, and then later on in the year on December 11th. He cashed this both times he played the Rockets. Now, both times he played them, it was kind of close, right? 21 points, 12 rebounds, and he had here 15 points and 18 rebounds. Remember, that's kind of before he got going on this hot streak. You look at that last 20-game stretch, it starts back on January 20th till now. So he cashed this early in the year when he had kind of, when he wasn't who he is now. Like, I think Wemby now has finally felt comfortable in the NBA. He covered those lines early in the year. Now that he's comfortable, I think it's even more likely that he'll cash these lines. Defensively, the Rockets, they're pretty good. They're 12th in the NBA in points allowed and 12th in the NBA in rebounds allowed to opposing centers. So they're not a bad defensive team. I just think Wemby's now become one of those guys, and we talked about it last week with like Jason Tatum and stuff, where they're just certain players where I don't really care about the defensive matchup. They're just so good that you could put really any defender, and maybe some people can slow them down, but nobody can contain them. And I think Wemby is one of those guys now where he's just a matchup nightmare. You can try to slow him down, but you're never going to stop him. All right, guys, third and final leg of today's parlay. One more time, comment ladder down below in the comment section if you are riding with our day one ladder challenge. Apologies again, I know this video is running a little on the longer side, but I had to give my explanation early on. Here we go, third and final leg of today's parlay. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets in the Suns-Nuggets game, which kicks off at 10 p.m. Eastern time. We're going with Jokic over 29.5 points plus assists. Again, data is very strong for this one. 7 of his last 10 games, he has cashed this over. You stretch that out to his last 20. 16 of his last 20 games, he has cashed this over. It's an 80% hit rate. And on the 2023 season as a whole, 75% hit rate, 44 out of 59 games, he has cashed this over. You look at the head-to-head matchup, he's cashed this in 8 of his last 9 times facing off with the Phoenix Suns, including 6 in a row. This does, of course, count playoff matchup that you see the Nuggets-Suns playoff series last year. So it does count playoff games as well. However, it is worth noting that in 6 consecutive regular season matchups with Phoenix, he has cashed this over. But still, overall playoff and regular season, 8 of his last 9 times, including the one time that he played Phoenix this year on December 1st, he had 21 points and 16 assists. So he's been a covering machine. You saw it there, that May 7th game, 53 points and 11 assists. He's had some pretty big games versus Phoenix. Again, I know it's an alternate line. This is actually the highest odds of any line we have today, minus 320. Caesars, Jesus, it's minus 600, but minus 320 on DraftKings. We're in a ladder challenge. We're trying to get a hit here, and it's a pretty good prop. So I usually don't take odds this high, but for a ladder challenge, I will accept it. Defensively, Phoenix, it says they're pretty good, but honestly, again, like we just talked about Wemby, Jokic is one of those guys where, yes, he's a center, but really there's nobody in the NBA who can defensively slow him down. They are bottom 10 in assists allowed to opposing centers. For Phoenix tonight, though, a lot of key injuries for the Suns. Devin Booker out, Damian Lee out, Josh Okogie out, and Nurkic, who is the guy who will be guarding Jokic in this matchup, he is a game-time decision with right calf soreness. Blowout potential is another thing you got to worry about in a game like this where some key players are out, but Bradley Beal and Durant are both expected to play. So, I do think this should be fine. I don't really see a blowout happening, but in the event that there are blowouts, you see here, like this game, Denver beat Sacramento by 20 points. Still played 32 minutes. Like some of these games, he's played in blowouts, and he still plays close to 30 minutes. Jokic is just a baller. He loves to play. I'm not worried. As long as he plays close in the ballpark of 25 to 30 minutes, he should be able to cash this line. All right, guys, there is our 3-leg ticket. Quick little recap. Nikola Jokic over 29.5 points plus assists. Brandon Ingram over 24.5 points plus assists. And Victor Wembanyama over 29.5 points plus rebounds. You parlay all 3 of those together, you get a parlay of plus 159 odds. Again, if you're not part of the ladder challenge, still pretty solid value for a 3-leg parlay with all these high odds. Plus 159. Honestly, not too bad. But that is our day 1 ladder challenge, guys. Again, comment down below ladder if you are riding on this ladder challenge, or if you're just betting the parlay, or if you're just watching, whatever the case may be, drop a comment down below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We are just about to hit 60,000 subscribers, but we are on the road to 100,000 subscribers, so you can help us get there a little sooner by hitting that subscribe button, down below. Guys, thank you very much. Again, apologies. I know this is a little bit of a longer video for what is only a 3-leg parlay, but day 1 of our ladder challenge, let's hope for a hit. If we're lucky, we'll come back tomorrow with day 2. If we lose tonight, fingers crossed we don't, we will do another ladder challenge later in the month. Whatever the case may be, I will be back tomorrow with another NBA player prop parlay video regardless. Guys, until tomorrow, I hope we're all winners.